Oh no, no, he won't stop. Thalmor Radio. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Thalmor Radio.
Thalmor Radio.
So as Greta, who is just a sweetheart, pointed out, today is Friday, and it's not just Friday. That's not good enough. It's Friday the 13th. It's the evil kill day. It's very spooky. I'm walking around outside right now, and I'm spooked. I don't know. It could be. I mean, it could be the acid I dropped, or it could be the fact that it's Friday the 13th. But I'm like looking over my shoulder. I'm paranoid. I think I keep seeing things on top of the mountains. I don't know what's going on. But anyways, gosh, I don't have a lot to talk about with the game. Not much is going on. The war is going on. But it's kind of boring now, because TSCKR are just being sat on. Diplomacy talks aren't interesting. TS is in complete control of the narrative. Not much to talk about there, but I got some things to say. I got 4 internals. I usually don't have so many internals, but I got a bunch of things. What's my first one? Okay, my politics overnight. Okay, so when TS blitzed KT, they did espionage ops on me, right? Completely normal. And they killed like 28 spies in one go. So last night when I was dreaming, I had it was a normal dream, but there was one distinct part I remember, and that was that I checked my nation, and I had another op done against me, and I lost 28 spies again, and that actually caused me some fear. I remember this very distinctly. It legitimately bothered me. So I had a nightmare. So that was funny. Politics and war has. I usually have a politics and war dream about once a year. It usually pops in somehow. And it's always funny when it does, because it's usually nonsense. And mostly they're actually negative now that I think about it. So that's funny. Y'all can't behave. So there's been a thing going on for a little while now in the historic shows, which is kind of an inaccurate name now, but it's like the archive, right? Oh, I might be a robot. I don't know. My thing's orange. Hello? Can someone tell me that I didn't cut out? Okay. So, there's been a tradition lately of people trying to be the last person to speak in one of the historic show channels for some time, and eventually I got tired of this. It was especially prevalent in for whatever reason, the vice presidential debate room. So I finally changed the perms, and now no one except for basically admins can type in those rooms. And especially in the VP debate one, I myself said last, so I was actually the last one to type in that thing. I basically abused my power to do the thing, and so that was fun. Which kind of brings me to a next point, which is what I'm going to do with the US presidential election category. And no, but I'm going to keep it up until the inauguration. I'm going to explain why. So the election's over, but it's being contested very heavily. I'm going to talk about this more later too, but it's being contested very heavily all over the place in courts and whatnot. There is a non-zero chance Trump will remain in the White House. It is a low chance. I am not optimistic, but I think it is a distinct possibility that one way or another Trump can remain president. So, because I think that's very newsworthy, I think the situation is very fluid, I'm going to keep the category up so people can talk about the news there. So we'll see. That is true. I know the media keeps saying, oh, Joe Biden is president-elect. Well, he's not president-elect. The Electoral College hasn't came together to vote yet. So, anyways, we'll see how that goes. Talk about news. The media already called the election. That is completely right said. We are a republic. Uh, we elect people. We do not represent ourselves. We elect people to represent us. That's true all over the place. Maybe faithless electors will come into play, but I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. I don't know. I know in Georgia they're doing a recount. I think there's some kind of news in Pennsylvania, like they didn't have the authorization to keep counting votes after the election or something. So there's been some news, and we'll see what keeps happening as time goes on. Oh, really, Zed? I wasn't aware of that. Do you have a source to post about that? I want to read that. I know there used to be state punishments about faithless electors, but like that wasn't allowed federally to sway the vote or something. Pennsylvania margin is too wide for a recount. Which is probably why they went after the votes being casted after the election. That would make more sense. Where was I pinged? I was pinged somewhere here. Oh. Oh no, Arctic and Yang, you guys can still talk there. Fucking hell. No, my best attempt to try to stop you guys failed. Oh no. Okay, I'll fix it later. Everyone can. You shouldn't be able to. Oh, what? Wait a minute. How? Okay, okay, this is your last night to spam last in the historic shows. Spam all the channels, I guess. Uh, well, see, I changed the permissions for the category. Oh, maybe I didn't sync them or something. Whatever. No, I can't. So then why can the rest of them? That's weird. Okay, I'll look at it later. Y'all can't behave. So we'll see how the election goes. Now, if Trump remains in the White House, I'm going to celebrate the occasion by somehow, sometime doing. I said it in announcements. I think it's a 12-hour show. I'll do a 12-hour bonus episode of Thalmor Radio, and that's how I will celebrate the occasion. So, and what am I going to do for 12 hours? I don't know. I can barely do 1 hour. So 12 hours, I'll probably just play a game or something and do commentary on it. I don't know. Yeah, Prefontaine really stroking my ego there. I want Trump for president. Twitch stream. I don't have a good enough internet connection to it. Well, actually, you know what? I probably do at the kitchen. That I work out of. I can probably do it there. That would be funny. All right. So do a cooking show. Oh yeah, I'm going to make a pizza. There you go. Here's me working the oven making a pizza. Uh-oh, it just caught on fire. Better put it with water. That's safe. Stream politics and war. Oh, like Nokia does, who we talked about. 18 plus cooking show. Oh goodness. Okay, so politics and war news. Uh, Give me a minute to look here. Okay, state of the war. So war's boring. Now I'm a big boy. I have like 28 cities. Um, like close to full military. So I'm a big boy. However, I'm distracted. I'm watching my dogs play. They usually don't play together, so I'm just kind of watching that. I'm distracted. But I'm a big boy, so the number of people I can actually fight with is limited based on tiering. But I have trouble. I'm no longer fighting the war since my original 5 wars ended. My 3 defensive, 2 offensive. I haven't done anything besides like rebuild war chest, rebuild spies, make sure I have full soldiers and full planes, and that's been about it. I don't even have full tanks. I just haven't been buying a whole lot because I want to remain a bit fluid with my war scores. But oh, I know you will, Zig. I know. But I ain't doing shit. I go to look for targets in TS and TKR, and everyone is either in beige or they're already fully slotted. I haven't looked outside those two alliances though, but I'm just not motivated to. Um, I'll look at it later though. Targets are impossible to find. Yeah, they've gotten difficult. So I've just been chilling, rebuilding war chests. That's been about it. Now, when there's nothing going on in the war, you can then look towards the forums to see what people are talking about. And I gotta say, I don't think I've ever seen a situation. If I have, it's been a while. Especially in a global war, where one side basically has won the FA battle. TS and TKR have really hit some. Which a big part of this is thanks to Sweet Ronnie D. Uh, but they've just been unable to. Well, that's not true. They're like I said earlier, they're in control of the narrative. No one's really like all of the big representative and big names from our side haven't really been engaging them on the forums. I'm sure there's more talks going on in private channels, but publicly they've all been pretty quiet. And there's probably not much to there's probably not much to talk about. Ultimately, I think the diplomacy kind of comes down to everyone's doing what's best. TSTKR see everyone besides TSTKR sees TSTKR as a threat, and so they banded together to fight them. That's what I think. I'm not a representative for my side, but that's how I see it. So you cannot use facts and logic to convince one person to act against their own self-interest unless they're a cuck or something, but that's different. TKR is just an SK pro. Now that's a hot take. That's a hot take. Jarls, I used 3 hours one day last week to talk to Parsons and answer a question he asked. We prefer to debate in private. Yeah, so it seems like everything has gone to like private channels and whatnot, and that's fine. They can talk about whatever they want. But I'm a big idiot. I only look at the forums. I'm not in any secret spicy channels. Answering machine response. um, so that's kind of about it. TSDKR and control the narrative. Did you guys see Fist's forum posts? I think Fist, former Pantheon leader, the things he've been saying. Because like Fist was really going on and going on and going on, just being a spurt, really. And I don't know. Fist, he has the Imperium of Man from 140k as his profile picture. I don't think he appeared much in the main thread. I think it was a few others, but he was being retarded.
He was in there, and he just kept talking and talking, and I couldn't even read it because it was not even interesting.
Yeah, well, it was just.
Who even is that, by the way? I other than like, when was he a leader? When was he relevant?
He was leader of Pantheon, I think back in 2016, if I remember correctly. And I think when Pantheon got hit, he like bailed or whatever. I think he was. I think he's an infamous person. He just was
Infamous.
big leader of Camelot. I don't remember that. I'm pretty. I court. Are there two fists? There might be two fists. Big leader of Pantheon. Okay, there you go, Fistily. Thanks for correcting that. Uh-oh, my dog's scaring my cat. Hey, get away, Daisy. Get away. There you go. He left one test. Okay, that would have to have been it. Because I think it was in 2016. Gosh, going back 4 years now. Yeah, when Pantheon got hit, he just ran away. He like, I don't know, I think he deleted his nation or something and left Purple Moon. Left her holding the bag. And I think he returned and did some shit. I think he was leader or government somewhere. I know he was a member in TKR. Maybe he was gov in TKR. And then now he's in vacation mode again for some reason. So there you go. Yang, you guys can spam as much as you want. Let me look, Zig, if that's him or not. Yep, that's him, the God Emperor of Mankind. He sent one message. I don't remember what it was, but it was some nonsense. Let me think. What was it? But he was basically saying like he made this bullet point list of all the things like TS and TKI representatives had done wrong, and it was just like it was like 20 items. It was this big long ranting schizo post, and I almost replied, but I didn't because I was afraid to get in trouble. But I basically said, look, if you hate them so much, like just get a gun and shoot them. Like if you think they're this, if you think they're this bad and this evil, just go be a hero. But I didn't because that's in bad taste. But he's a retard, and I think he stopped posting now, which is good. Okay, final call. Did anything else happen in politics and war? I can't think of anything, but maybe I'm wrong. Anything else happened? Okay, no one is saying anything, so I'm guessing nothing really happened. Oh, has it hit 1 trillion by now? I was surprised by how quickly we hit one. It's only been what? 3 weeks? 2 weeks? 2 weeks, I think. It's been no time before we hit 1 trillion. Cooper's troll thread. Was that the a question about the narrative thread? Is that hit? That was a troll thread? It seemed kind of genuine. That was a fun declaration of war, with the video and everything. That's who. Yep. Now the last war. Gosh, what was it? The last war, last global. It probably would have reached 1 trillion faster, but because of Surf's Up, everyone was already damaged on our side, so it took longer. At the C10 Yang, I think that's I think you're talking about fists, I think. Or maybe not. I think there's lots of people talking like they know things when they don't. See, at least I'm honest that I don't know anything I'm talking about. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. Let's go ahead and move on to some real life stuff. Okay, so election news. Do any of you use Twitter? Who uses Twitter? One for yes, I use Twitter. No for two. Two for no, I don't use it. Okay, so a decent number do use Twitter. Okay, so I used to be the same Kiwi, but I finally did make one because I wanted to be able to see more information about stuff. So Twitter, have you guys seen the fucking the tweets, the additions Twitter makes? It's like, oh, learn more about how U.S. elections are totally secure and nothing's happening. I've seen lots of memes about that, and it's fucking annoying because it's only right wing people, only Trump and people on his side. It only applies to their tweets. Joe Biden and any other leftist can say whatever they want and nothing. But if you're right wing and you say, "Oh, I don't know about this election, guys," no, hear from the experts about how U.S. elections are 100% secure and safe and honest. It's like, fuck off. Okay, said. Thank you. I'm stealing that. I'm stealing that really hard. Oh man, but I've seen edits about it too. It's been really fun. Like I saw one that was like it was Paul Revere saying the British is coming, the British are coming, and it was dated, and the tweet was dated 1775, and the little tweet, the little Twitter thing said, learn more about how British tax policies are beneficial. It was funny. Oh man, but yeah, so um. I think we all pretty much agree that this election was full of bullshit. Um, The Biden team stole it. The fucking Biden's campaign manager made a tweet in 2014. This one guy says something like, "Oh, like he made a tweet about elections, not elections being rigged. Goodness, elections being rigged, and the current Biden campaign manager said, well, that's because elections are rigged. And that's back in like 2014. I mean, shit is super stolen. Trump is fighting it as much as possible. Like I said earlier, there's a recount in Georgia. I think there was something in Pennsylvania. I know they're trying to do some stuff in Michigan. So I mean, there's a strong effort being made to throw out all the fraud, and if all the fraud can be thrown out, or a bunch of it can, then Trump will probably win. Many of them have been shut down quickly. That is true. What was it? A lot have been thrown out. Not all of them. Like I said, there's been, I think, 2 victories, one in Georgia, one in Pennsylvania. Rudy Giuliani keeps saying, like, oh, he said, like, oh, I found 450,000 Trump ballots in Pennsylvania, but then nothing happens. It's like, okay, if you got this news, you need to do something with it. So it will take a while. Also, they stopped counting in Georgia because a ballot place had like a leaky pipe burst or something, and no work orders could be found related to that. So it's probably bullshit. Remember when the night of the election, Trump was ahead in every state, except I think for Nevada, but in Wisconsin, in Michigan, in Pennsylvania, Georgia, North Carolina, Trump was ahead in every state the night of the election. Then they just stopped counting in all those states. All swing states, they just stopped for whatever reason. I guess magic. Magic is why they all stopped. And then when they started counting, oh, look, Biden's ahead by 70 gorgillion votes. And of course, there's the magical graph in Wisconsin that shows, like the lines keep going up, but then with the blue line for Biden, it, like, spikes up a full 90 degrees above Trump, and then it resumes back to where it was normal. It's all bullshit. That is true, Zed. Yeah, many Democrats voted for by mail. Republicans voted in person. But CCT, like the numbers stopped coming in. Though that's the thing. And I distinctly remember them saying that, like, they did stop counting, at least in some of those states. Putting the mail-ins. Well, mail-in voting's all over the place because some states say count them as they come. Some states say wait until election day. It was all states, of course, have a lot of authority to kind of do whatever they want with their own elections. All right. So, yeah, yeah, Zed. There you go. I posted a funny video on my social media about, like, Kanye winning, and that was funny. All of my boomer friends liked it. They thought it was funny. I made my boomer friends laugh. Yes, we are, Sun Tzu. We are probably talking real life stuff. So yeah, elections bullshit. And I'm keeping the category up here for news and stuff. If Trump wins the White House, or keeps the White House, I should say, I'll do a 12-hour show where I do something. I don't know what. There you go. Did anything about the election I should know? I guess final call for election stuff. Anything happen I should know about, guys? 12 hours of saying base? That will probably be it. Yeah. Good night, Sun Tzu. Instead of auto recount now, huh? Does that take into effect, like, the judge said that the Secretary of State didn't have the authority to count votes after election day? Does that take that into account? Yeah, they finally conceded North Carolina. Why did it take them so long to count Alaska? Isn't Alaska reliably red? I think that's not true, Avatar. That is correct, Zed. You're right. I remember them saying the night of the election that it would probably be until today before we learned things for sure. I forgot about that. Also, another thing about these ballots is that another thing about the ballots is that fuck, what was it? I was gonna say it. Oh yeah, they found there were plenty of ballots for Biden that had Biden as president, but then the rest of the ballot was blank, like no one else voted for something. So that seemed kind of sus. Seems quite Chinese. It is legal Avatar, but it's sus. Well, on my ballot in Kentucky here, the back of the ballot was about two big changes to the Constitution, and I knew fuck all about either. I was thinking, okay, I'll pick this one because I saw some Facebook posts from last election about it, so I think I think I'll pick this one. And the second one was about, I think, representative like the length of their terms, and I voted in favor of the one that would have given them shorter terms because I want a rotating door so no one has enough time to fuck up anything for me. For the weed guy. Oh, and, well, Oregon's base. They decriminalized all hard drugs. So like we should have a Thalmor Radio like heroin party in Portland, Oregon. I think that would be a great idea. Like forget a politics and war convention. We're having a meth party, a Thalmor Radio meth party. That's great. Yep, I agree with Kiwi. I think the war on drugs should end, but like, don't do drugs. Yep, Vicily, that was them. The victim of crime rights. I think I voted. I don't even remember how I voted now. Um, I think I voted against it, and then I voted for the representatives to have shorter terms. Because I think it was the thing to extend the terms or make them longer, and I said no, forget it. Who do we war against? We war against Satan, Zig. We know who the eternal enemy is. And it's evil spirits.
You're right.
It's always been.
You're right about the ballot, by the way. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't chime in earlier, since I actually did the same ballot as you. But there was a
Did,
term limit one, and the someone's law, which has apparently been voted on multiple times, passed multiple times, and then like taken off, and then it's gotten shut down at the courts. I don't know. I read it the day of, and I was like, ah, what the heck is this thing?
did you vote?
Yeah, of course.
How did you vote in those two?
I don't remember. I voted no for the term limits because that one was obvious, and the other one was such a big long thing, and I just wanted to leave, so I can't even remember what I voted. If I even put this as something. I think I just guessed and scribbled one of them.
Yeah, that's about what I did. I was like, I'm voting no on this victim rights bullshit, and I'm voting fuck the representatives. They shouldn't be in office for too long. Um, that's about it, I think, for election stuff. Let's talk about the promotion of evil. And I don't know why this has been on my mind so much, but I want to talk about two people. I want to talk about Cardi B. I want to talk about Tenkeshi 69, whose real name is Daniel Hernandez. And fuck both of them. You can. Okay, I'm going to talk about. Let me talk about Cardi B first because I have more to say about Tenkeshi 69. Fuck Cardi B. And you can fuck her two ways. You can fuck her the way I mean fuck her, which is forget about her, cancel her, whatever. But you can also fuck her literally, because she's kind of hot. Gotta say. She has that WAP. WAP? How do you pronounce it? But no, for real. So, like, didn't she used to rob people when she was younger before she got her music career started? I do know for sure she has, like, assaulted and attacked people for no reason. She's a violent criminal. And fuck violent criminals. Like, it's one thing to fight someone for any reason, because, like, you can fight someone in duels, you can fight someone because they're attacking you, but she just goes around, like, she's a rich person. Like, she is so privileged and so blessed. She has no reason to dislike anyone, but she goes around attacking people who make a fraction of what she makes in a month. And it's like, no, fuck you. She's a violent criminal. Violent criminals are base. Oh, man. So, anyways, forget about Cardi B. And she once claims to be Catholic, but it's like, come on, we're going to know you by your actions. I don't think attacking random people is very Christ-like. But anyways, Dageshi 6ix9ine is the one I really have my thoughts on. First of all, I think he's pretty unpopular anyways, both in the industry and in the public, because everyone knows how much of a shitbird he is. But, like, okay, first off, he's a pedophile. I think he fucked around with a 13-year-old or something, so he's a pedophile. But he's also, like, he's probably a murderer. He had this gang thing going on, and they broke into people's houses and beat them up, and, like, stole shit, and, like, he's just a fucking thug. And okay, look. If you're going to be a violent criminal with an organized crime, like a gang or something, fine. That's one thing. But if you get caught, which you are going to get caught, okay? The government's pretty good about catching criminals now, especially in the post-RICO era. But, like, don't fucking snitch on your comrades. Don't be a fucking rat. Don't be a snake. He can't be in polite society. He's already decided he's not going to do that. He's going to be this violent criminal. He's going to be this menace to society. He's going to dive into the underworld, but then he can't even abide by the rules of the underworld. He snakes on his friends, his comrades, his brothers, and gets them all fucked. So, like, he's just a shithead. But anyways, he gets out, and he got out for asthma. He's under house arrest. His house arrest ended August 1st, so he's now a free man. Except he might be on probation. But I think he also, like, I think he strangled a 16-year-old in a shopping mall last year. And the 16-year-old was too scared of him and his rabid friends to press charges, so he walked free from that too. He's just a fucking menace to society. And, there's only one correct pathway for people like Cardi B, for people like Dageshi 6ix9ine, and this is what they need to do. First off, they need to publicly release a statement about what they've done. They need to come clean. There's a verse in the Bible, confess your sins before the church. They need to announce to everyone in the world what they've done wrong, okay? Then, after they've done this, they need to turn themselves in. They need to go to their local police, their provincial or state police, the federal, whatever. They need to turn themselves in, okay? Turn themselves in. And they need to accept whatever punishment they get. Then, once they're in prison, they need to speak to the cleric, and they need to turn to God and beg on their knees for forgiveness. And that's it. That's the only moral, logical pathway for people. And this is not just rappers, like sex pests in Hollywood, like any wealthy, powerful person who is violent and just a menace to society. They need to confess their sins before the world, turn themselves in, and then turn to Christ. And that's the only pathway for them. Otherwise, they're going to go to hell. They're going to hell. They're going to be with their father, the devil, that they love so much. And that's it. And we should not desire for them to go to hell, but that's where they want to put themselves. So that's the and it bothers me. It bothers me because these people are promoted. Takeshi was this dirty fucking criminal menace to society rat who couldn't even be loyal to those closest to him. And then what does he do when he's out because of Corona? He releases this song. What was it? Gooba. And he says, "Stay mad to those who hate me." He does his music video with these 5 thick black chicks shaking their ass, which is fine, I guess. But like, come on, you haven't repented, you haven't learned anything. But this is promoted. Gooba has millions of views on YouTube. All of his music millions of views. He did release a new record or whatever, but it had it was on the top 200, I think, not for very long. So I don't think he's very popular. But still, Cardi B's a lot more popular, but she's still this violent criminal. And it's promoted. They're very wealthy people who go to work working 2 to 3 jobs for their kids. They don't get anything. People who work very hard working on like dams and critical infrastructure, they don't get anything. But these criminal menaces to society get everything in the world, and it's just bullshit. All right, so that was my rant for tonight, was the promotion of evil. And yeah, there you go. Stop listening. Well, I don't listen to him. I already don't listen to him. I did listen to Gooba some. I like the beat. I didn't like the lyrics, but I like the beat. I finally did remove it from my Spotify playlist, but I mean the viewers. Oh, gotcha. Well, like I said, I think Daniel Hernandez is falling out of popularity pretty well. I went to the Reddit page for the song Gooba, and it was full of people like, yeah, this guy's just a shithead. So I think he's already kind of on the way out. And I think on Snapchat I saw a preview for a documentary about his rise and fall. So I think he's right on the way. Now Cardi B is still pretty popular. Now as a woman, she gets more of a pass for things for whatever reason. Women get more passes, but whatever. We'll see. Well, she's currently in a criminal case now for when she beat up the 2 women. It was like a felony charge, and the last update with that was on 2009. And I know firsthand, not because I've done anything, but because I know people who have. Although they're innocent, and they're going through the process, and the shit just takes a while. And I'm sure someone as rich as Cardi can hire the best attorneys to delay things out. So that is true, Zig. Especially, yeah, well, especially non-political celebrities like actors, which I don't know. I guess the Me Too thing has drug a lot of men down. So I guess it's getting better. Wow, most of you stuck around to hear me rant. I appreciate that. All right. I think that's pretty much about it. That was my 2 real life topics: election stuff, the promotion of evil. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I don't know, that's about it, I think. Anything else you guys want me to talk about? I'm gonna do a general final call. Any real life events that I should talk about? Any in-game stuff? I'll also talk about whatever. I am 9 feet tall, Zed. I am literally a space marine from Warhammer 40K. Zig, can you unmute Prefontaine for a minute? I have a question for Pre. No, Zed. I'm part of the Blood Ravens. All right, Pre. Let me know when you get back. You know what I found out? I found out that there's leg lengthening surgery. They cut your bone open and then insert like a metal rod, and then the bone will grow around the rod. And you can do the surgery twice, and you can get 3 inches each time. So that's how you can get 6 inches over the course of 2 years, and a lot of money. Although I'm sure the recovery for something like that is just fucking awful. Yeah, he wants a 4, which originally it was 15 days to slow the spread, and now we're on day 200 and something of that. So 4 to 6 week shutdown. It's going to be more like a 4 to 6 year shutdown, and it's never going to fully go away either. They've been saying since last year, oh, this is the new normal. Life is never going to go back to how it was. Like, it's all bullshit. But people, look, if they didn't steal the election, this is what people wanted. They wanted this, and in which case, I guess this is no longer my home country, but it is what it is, I guess. Mass, I don't know about that one, Hillbilly. They polled people who got sick, and like the majority of them were already wearing masks, so I don't know if it really helps that much.
I can confirm that, at least in my case, I was around someone that tested positive the next day, and I was fine. So either I was immune or the masks did actually work.
Have you been tested
Hello.
recently? Oh, hey Pri, what's up?
I was just reading old threads.
I had a question for you. I have a couple friends, and we've been doing Dungeons and Dragons, and I've been DMing. What are some tips you might have for a novice DM?
You got to figure out what your party wants. Do they want story? Do they want dungeon stomping? Do they want a world that involves backstory and like plot threads that have a long payoff? Or figure out what they want and give them what they want. You'll have more fun that way.
Thank you, Pri. I appreciate it. What threads are you reading?
Was just old fun test threads from that year of shenanigans.
Oh, going down a trip down memory lane.
Yeah, when I dug up that declaration of war against Pantheon, I just happened to be in that section where we had a few wars. I was just reading old threads.
I do that from time to time. It's fun to kind of, and like you remember things that you have forgotten.
So why wasn't I invited to your D&D game?
Because you are many, many miles away.
Oh, you're not doing it online? You're breaking quarantine policies and shit? I gotcha.
Yep. I am, what's the word I want to use? I am formulating a bunch of super spreaders right now. Yeah, well, don't vaccines usually take like years to actually make really well? I know they did some trials earlier this year that caused like severe neurological problems in some of the people who got it. I think vaccines take a while to really make effective and safe.
I work. I share a wall with a compliance registration guy, and he was saying the current Pfizer vaccine needs to be stored at like negative 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and once it goes into a refrigerator after the packaging, then it has to be used within 3 hours. Imagine how cold that shit would be going into you.
That sounds a lot like stem cells. I know a clinic a family member owned that did some stem cell stuff, and it was about that way. Like it was super cold, and then once you busted it out, you had to use it immediately.
Yeah. I mean, I can't verify the validity of any of this. It's just from what he's been telling me, and I mean, he's usually right about certain things, but he's been very wrong about other things in the past. So
Soup, do you think the vaccine are going to turn people into vampires? Because that's what the creatures in I Am Legend are. They're vampires.
how long of a campaign are you running? Is it like like a dozen sessions, couple sessions, as long as you want it to go?
I got a central storyline. Well, it's very there's lots of geopolitics stuff, so I think in theory it can go on forever. I got a central plot line though, and I probably got enough stuff to last 10 sessions, and we've only done one so far. Well, we've done two.
Do your characters have backstories?
Yes, they do.
Tie them in to the main plot somewhere. Give each character like a couple session spot in the sun where they get a chance to, satisfy character motivations and shit like that.
Gotcha. I'll keep that in mind. It's hard because of how things have been written, but I can think of something. Yeah.
Like I can give you an example. I think it was a 19-month campaign that we met once a week, and one of the characters they were both Aasimar. For people who don't know D&D, angel people. One was a fallen Aasimar, so kind of like evil-ish. One was a defender Aasimar. I forget the exact. So a good guy. And that family member kind of went rogue on the other family, and there became sibling rivalry. So they were that family member was a part of the big bad evil organization that they were slowly uncovering as the game went on.
So how those plot lines eventually resolve?
Ultimately, the good Aasimar was tied. They're very religious figures, so they're tied to a deity, and they did this quest. They actually took on like one of the. This is a high level campaign at this point. Took on one of the greater demons in the monster manual, like a CR-24 thing, and it was a ruckus. If anyone is familiar, a ruckus with his wand, nonetheless. And so he was a part of that fight. They teamed up to take him down, and then it was revealed that through like she used a pole arm, he used a great sword. The angelic weapon that was given at the end was a pole arm to show that they were the favored one, kind of thing. And he went off pissy, and then eventually died.